Now they've revealed a couple of cards for Team Affinity Season 2. They've revealed some with attributes and then some that is just an image. We're going to go over the ones that are just an image and I'm going to tell you whether they are a W or an L, and then we're going to rank the ones which we have seen their attributes for, and I'll tell you whether or not they are worth getting and which ones should be the first ones that you go after from what we've seen so far. I believe in total we've gotten 13 out of 30, so there is still a lot of room left for more players, more improvements, and don't you worry, whenever these new players come out, we're gonna update the tier list and you most likely will be getting the rest, meaning the rest of the infield, rest of the outfield, and rest of the starting pitchers and bullpen tier list videos before the Team Affinity Season 2 drops. So make sure you hit that red subscribe button here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you turn on the notifications. We stream each and every single night at 1 a.m. Eastern. So make sure you go ahead and follow me on all my socials to be notified whenever we do go live. And if you would like to become a member of the channel, just press that join button next to that red subscribe button or the link inside the description. We're going to be having our own Discord launching very soon as well. So we're going to start it off with Team Affinity Season 2. You got yourself Willie Mays for the San Francisco Giants, NL West. I think this card has potential, but the downside to it is Willie Mays doesn't really have a swing that a lot of people like. He's similar to Mike, not similar to Mike in that his swing is very slow, but similar to Mike in that his swing is one that takes time to get used to. So that could be the only downside to him. Now what could also be a downside to Willie is if they give him a card that's really boosted in terms of fielding and then lacks power, because a Willie Mays card without any power is not a Willie Mays card at all. I'm telling you that right now. But for this right here, we're gonna give it a semi W and L, so it gets like a V. If we were to judge it like, did MLB go 0 for 1 or 1 for 1? They went 0 for 1 with this card in my opinion. And then we have for the New York Yankees, we have Lou Gehrig. Now the beautiful thing about Lou Gehrig compared to Willie Mays is that Lou, he has one of the best swings you will find in this game. If you're no money spent, David Ortiz, he costs a lot of dough to get. So Lou Gehrig, for the time being, especially if he has good numbers against both sides, which he most likely will, he's gonna be more than a great option to put at first base, no money spent. If you were to ask me, W or L, this card is definitely going to be a W. I'm telling you that right now. The attributes are most likely gonna look amazing, and then his swing is just going to only complement it. So with his swing, yes, he will play above his attributes in my opinion. Then we have for the AL Central, Johnny Damon. Now, I'll be honest with you all. The best center field card we've seen that is similar to Johnny Damon was Ellsbury, and that was last year. Johnny Damon, he never has had a real good card in this game. We've already seen a similar card to this one, and to be honest with you all, I just do not see this card being a W. I see it more of an L than anything. MLB The Show is 1 for 3 in my opinion when we're seeing these reveals so far. I just don't see how this card is going to be better than any outfielder you can put in the outfield, either from Team Affinity Season 2 or the current outfielders you have in the game, such as Byron Buxton, such as Ronald Acuna Jr., Mike Trout, and all those other stars that you can put out there. I feel like Johnny Damon, especially as a 93 overall, is going to give you similar, if not the same production as them. And then we're going to go to Season 2, Team Affinity, AL Central. We got Jim. Now, this could be very well another great card to put at first base to supplement for David Ortiz until you get David Ortiz. Now, the only unfortunate thing is that it seems like they're stacking first basemen. I would like to see more variety when it comes to positions, especially in Team Affinity Season 2, but at the same time, you got to take it with a grain of salt, because we only got 13 out of the 30 to show to you all right now. But Jim, he's another player that has a good swing, and then you know his power numbers are going to be juice, and he's a 96 overall. He's the highest overall we've seen out of all the Team Affinity Season 2 reveals, so I'm very excited to see how this card looks, and I think this card will also be a big W in my opinion. So they're 2 for 4. Now we're going to the NL Central, the Cincinnati Reds. They're getting Johnny Bench. To me, out of all the cards revealed so far, this one takes the biggest L. And the reason this card takes the biggest L is Johnny Bench has never had a good swing in the game. Not only that, but I promise you his attributes will not even match, if not come close to another catcher you will see in Team Affinity Season 2. And this other catcher that you see in Team Affinity Season 2, when we do the rankings, he might very well go ahead and replace Mike wherever Mike is, and might even replace the top catchers in the positional tier list rankings. But Johnny Bench, I just don't see how this card is going to be a W, just because his swing in each and every single game is horrible. It's not like Mike's, where you can get some time or you practice with him and then you get used to his swing. In general, unless some way somehow they fix his swing for MLB The Show 21, in MLB The Show 20 his swing was horrible, MLB The Show 19 his swing was horrible, I highly doubt it changes for MLB The Show 21. And then we're going to go to the Chicago Cubs. We're getting ourselves Mark Pryor. I wanted to see someone different since we've seen this card already a bunch of times, but I'm excited to see how good Mark Pryor is. I think this card can definitely be usable. We don't have a ton of high overall pitchers that are free to get, and I think this card could definitely be someone that you slot in there for free and upgrade your starting rotation in general. So no money spent players, make sure you guys pay attention to each and every single starting pitcher that is released for Team Affinity Season 2, because it can take your team to the next level in the blink of an eye. And then Brandon Webb, he's from the Diamondbacks, starting pitcher. He has a great arsenal. That's the one thing I'll give him instantly. He has a great arsenal. I believe it's sinker, cutter, changeup, and then curveball. So you get two horizontal movement, or two vertical movement, off-speed pitches, and then the cutter serves as a slider as its horizontal movement. So that's good enough for me. I would have loved it if you would have had a slider as well, but you can't go ahead and get everything you wish for. I think this card is going to be interesting to see, since it's the first time we've ever gotten a Brandon Webb as of the last 3 years, last 4 years, last 5 years. So I'm actually very excited to see his arsenal, his attributes, etc. I can't give it a W, I can't give it an L, so I'll give it a V, halfway there, because we've never seen a card like it before. So for me to predict the success, it's going to be very difficult. But a 93 overall starting pitcher that is going to be similar to Corbin Burns, I think that's a great addition to any no money spent team. And now let's go ahead and look at some of the players that have actually gone ahead and gotten their attributes revealed. So we start off with Bryce from the Milwaukee Brewers, 92 overall left-handed hitter, shortstop. He's going to have great contact numbers. He's going to have okay power numbers. The fielding is going to be diamond. The reaction once you get him to parallel 1 is going to be diamond. And the speed is going to be an 89. To me, this card all around, if you need a good contact hitting shortstop, it's a good card. But most people have their ball player at shortstop. And if you don't have your ball player at shortstop, it would be highly recommended that you do put your ball player at shortstop. But the reason this card comes in at number 6 is that from the players they've revealed the attributes for, there are a ton of shortstops. Not only that, but Ernie Banks is a higher overall. And I'm pretty sure if you put Ernie Banks right next to Bryce, you're going to see that Ernie Banks is going to blow him out of the water. We go on to number 5. The image is a little bit smaller, but I hope you guys can all see the attributes and everything. We got Shane. Now he throws a 4-seam, he throws a curveball, a slider, and a changeup. So he has one hard stuff, and then everything else is off speed. The beautiful thing about this card is the Ks per 9 is at 100, so that PCI is going to be shrunk regardless of what difficulty you're playing at. The hit per 9 at 95 is pretty good as well. I don't like the fact that he only has one fastball. I wish he would have had a cutter or a sinker. That would have definitely made him a lot better than what he currently is, and he wouldn't be coming in at number 5. But another reason I dislike this card a little bit is just the simple fact that the off-speed pitches, they don't have great differentials when it comes to the speeds, but 2 off-speed pitches at 88 miles per hour, one being vertical, the other one being horizontal. That is beautiful. I like that a lot. And then the curveball at an 84 is not that bad either. The only thing that I'm a little bit afraid of is if he doesn't have a good delivery to the plate and he's easy to read, he's gonna get smoked because he only has one fastball. So if it's not coming straight at you, you're gonna know, hey, sit back and drive it. And then we're gonna go to number 4. Now, this is going to be similar to a card we had last year, which was Wander Franco. This is similar to that shortstop you guys saw at number 6. We have Robert. So Robert, he plays second base and he plays third base. He can be your second baseman and he can be your third baseman. He's going to be a great contact hitter. He's going to be like that D. Gordon card that you guys all love at second base for the Miami Marlins collection, except he can't bunt. But the great thing about him is that unlike D. Gordon, he's a switch hitter and he has okay power, a little bit more power against right-handers than, you know, that number 6 Bryce. And then Versus left-handers, he has that okay pop, but the fielding at a 94 means he can play any secondary and still be diamond fielding and diamond reaction, and then 93 speed all around. That's also beautiful, and it will also help your team out a lot. I think this is going to be a crucial card as a utility card to either put at second base or third base. We're going to go to number 3. Number 3 is just disgusting. I don't even know. Yeah, I think this is number 3. Number 3 is just disgusting. It's Jordan. Now Jordan, look at those contact numbers. 100 on both sides. Kid can play on Legend, no problem. And most of these cards, like 1 through 6, can play on Legend. So I would assume all of the ones that have been revealed can play on Legend. Then you look at the power numbers. He has above the 80 threshold on both sides. The only real downside he has is his fielding is gold, and then his reaction is gold as well. But you don't really care about that. When you're getting that good of attributes in terms of hitting, you don't really care about that. Now if you play him at his secondary, which is third base, and he's not parallel 1, he is going to drop to silver fielding, so you most likely will be wanting to run him at short. But if you got your ball player, then this card is most likely not going to be too good for you. But all around, if you don't have a ball player for shortstop, this is going to be a great replacement for Ernie Banks, and it's probably better than Ernie Banks, to be honest with you, all around when it comes to fielding, speed at a 70, and then the contact and power numbers. So definitely one of the top cards that we have seen so far. Then at number 2, like I said, the card coming in at number 2 can easily replace Mike and can definitely just shoot up in terms of the catcher tier list rankings. I mean, you're getting 80 contact, 91 contact, and then over 100 power against both sides. The arm strength is at a 90, and I say that the arm strength is one of the most important things when it comes to catchers. And then the reaction is a 78. I don't know if I'm blocking the speed, but it's currently a 56. I mean, you got a speedy catcher with the cannon, and then the reaction at a 78 is pretty good because parallel 2 means it goes gold, and then the power numbers and contact numbers, they can play all the way to Legend. You can't really ask for much more out of a catcher. I think this is going to be one of the top cards to get as of right now. Out of the 13 out of 30 we've gotten as of right now, this is definitely going to be one of the top cards. And if he has a glitchy swing, which means he has a swing that allows him to play above his attributes, it's going to be even better. And then last but not least, coming in at number 1 is going to be Edward Cabrera from the Miami Marlins. Now, why is he coming in at number 1? Well, if you see that 4-seam, I don't know if I'm blocking it or not, but it says 98 miles per hour. So I would assume that that 4-seam has outlier as a quirk. And if it has outlier as a quirk, that means that 4-seam is going to be coming in at like 100, 101, and it's going to be very difficult to time up. But not only that, you look at his hits per 9 and Ks per 9, both above a 95. His Ks per 9, once you get him to parallel 3, is going to be at 100. He's going to be shrinking the PCI. He has a great arsenal. He has that slider, he has that changeup, he has that curveball we're looking for. He throws the slider and the changeup at relatively equal speeds, but the beautiful thing about him is that curveball, it drops 4 miles per hour, and then him having 2 fastballs, unlike the left-hander we had seen, him having 2 fastballs allows you to distinguish the fastballs in terms of movement, and it also makes it harder for the opponent to pick up that off-speed pitches, since a sinker, it might look like a fastball, or it is a fastball. So not that it might look like a fastball, it's gonna look like a fastball, but it's gonna have break to it, and that is gonna make it such a better pitch, especially it being his primary pitch. I'm very excited to see this card in action, and I think it's gonna be one of the best starting pitchers to get. So out of the 13 revealed, if I were to tell you which 2 to start off instantly with, it would be the NL East for the Miami Marlins, Edward Cabrera, and then the AL West for the Texas Rangers, Sam Huff. If you did end up enjoying today's content, please make sure to hit that like button, red subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials. Go ahead and follow me, or not follow me, but turn on the channel notifications. If you would like to become a member, just press that join button next to that red subscribe button. If you're on mobile, it's the link inside the description. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace out.